Hi guys, and welcome to episode 9 of my 1936 bungalow renovation. It's the end of week 2 of the internal works beginning, where I'm in charge. The builders have finished. For those of you that this is the first episode for, I've had builders here just doing the structural work, which was a lot, which was going into the roof of this bungalow where I am now, and you can see behind me, going 4 meters by 8 meters at the back of the property, and knocking down the garage and converting that into a larger bedroom ensuite and adding an additional bedroom as well. And the builders have pretty much finished now, so I've started. My rewire is complete, so I'm an electrician, and the first fix is all done apart from the ensuite upstairs, but that could be done at any time. The plumber has begun. We've got some pipes in, and even more exciting, we've had someone here insulating and plasterboarding, so some rooms downstairs actually now look like rooms and not just a massive building site. That's a really exciting stage because it means I can get my plasterer in, hopefully week after next. By the end of next week we should have boarded all of the ceilings and a few walls, all the stud work. So it gets to the really exciting stage. We can start getting plaster on the wall, and then I can start getting my sockets back on and lights back on, because it's a bit dark down there at the moment. But let me take you for a tour and I'll show you everything that we've been up to. So not much has changed up here. The Veluxes are in. I'm not sure if they were in the last video. So we went for 2 big Velux windows in here, and one as you come up what will be the stairs down there, and one in what will be the ensuite back in here. My carpenter actually gave me a really good suggestion for these Veluxes, and that was to get top hung. So I was going to get center pivot, which is basically they pivot from here and part of the window comes in and part of the window goes out. But he said in a space like this where we've got such funny angles that the only way we could get planning permission, this makes it more seem like a dormer loft, because you've just got that head height in here, which just gives you a little bit more. So I think that was a really good suggestion. Looking forward to getting some windows and doors in. It's a 6 to 8 week wait, so I'm hoping there's about 4 or 5 weeks left. I'm going to have a Juliet balcony here, glass, glass and glass above. So this whole thing is pretty much as much glass as we can physically have, and it's going to look really nice looking out to the garden. I've got fencing arriving on Tuesday for here and for here. That's not sure when that's going to get installed, but it's on order and it'll be there ready, which is nice. It's now gone really windy. As you can see, I've got cables everywhere, so nice and simple down the middle. Just going to have spotlights running down the whole middle, which is the only thing I could really do up here. And my idea was to have, as you can see, this ashlar wall has been dropped further down there, so this is going to be a wardrobe space, and then I've put all these cables on the floor on my socket. So socket here opposite the bed, and then a socket at either end by the window, just in case you have a desk or a dressing table, anything like that up here. These sockets here are where the bed's going to be, so socket either side, and that allows you to have lights either side of the bed, etc. if you wanted that. I didn't want to have the bed over the Velux in case it's raining and a bit annoying, so I thought that was the best place for it up here. And then looking back down here, you can see some pipes in for where the plumber is going to have a radiator here, and then you can see these pipes down the back here that run all the way down for some boiler work he's done, and to get another radiator at the end there as well. I've gone back and forth with this ensuite about what to do, because it is such a peculiar shape. It's basically right at the front of the house, if you can imagine it. This is all the old part of the house, obviously, and we just don't have height anywhere. So there's no height on this left side as you look at the front of the house, no height on the right, apart from where the Velux is, giving you that extra bit in here, the 150 mil, but actually in the middle, quite nice height. So I've dabbled with having the shower over here in all this space, but I just don't think, I think I'm going to be about there with it, so not very good. And even someone taller than me I've dabbled with having it over here, but it doesn't make sense because the toilet has to go here, and I think it makes sense to put the sink here in front of this Velux to give you that height I was speaking about earlier, and it's a bit brighter over there. The toilet waste has to run out through there, that's why the toilet has to go there. So what it leaves is all this space over here, and what I think I'm going to do is have this whole room essentially as a wet room with a nice big shower head coming out here. Obviously it would have to be not massive pressure because you've done it squirting everywhere, but I actually think that would be really nice and a really good use of the room. And then I'll get my carpenter to stud out some of these, or something I can do myself, for lots of cool shelves and things. But I'm looking for a bit of inspiration from you guys, or otherwise my carpenter can help me. And then I'll just put the towel rail on either that wall or that wall as well. Might be a bit busy with the sink and the toilet over here, so perhaps the towel rail over here with that shower up here coming down to the middle of the room. Right, I'll take you downstairs. So I'm at the bottom of the stairs, or where the stairs will be now. So this is this corridor we created. This used to be the entrance into the old back living room. That's where the fireplace used to be, where those bricks are. So the staircase will run up here, and is one of the last jobs the builder has to do, apart from screeding, which I'll show you later. I'll start at the front of the property so you get your bearings. Nothing's changed in here other than the rewire. I've got a socket here and a socket here for a bed, single bed coming out here, and a socket here. So that might also be an office rather than a child bedroom or a single bedroom. So that's why I thought I'd put the socket there in front of the window. And then you can just see that chase in the corner there is for my outside lights, which I've done 3, one on each side and then one by the front door for the outside lights. There's the old fuse board that will be being relocated to under the stairs, and then switch here as well. So you walk in the front door, light switch here. I was going to have spotlights down here, but again I've changed my mind because it's such a fiddly shape, with this side being perfectly straight and this side having so many angles coming out, going in. I didn't really want to square this off because it's quite nice to have a nice big entrance hall, I think, when you come into a property. And I wouldn't really gain much on this side anyway, because these rooms are all of a decent size. So I'm talking myself out of spotlights now. I maybe just have a pendant above here. Basically I've got a cable running this whole length so I can do whatever I like. So maybe a pendant up here and a pendant at the end as well. And then maybe as you walk further down here, these 3 cables are spotlights, so I can either keep those as spotlights or change one of those to pendants as well. And that other one is a smoke alarm up there. Bathroom, we have completely removed this ceiling. So it was a lath and plaster ceiling that we have removed because it had all bowed and was in a really bad condition. I had the awful job of, once the ceiling was removed, there was literally probably 200 nails in each bit. So I had to remove those so we can just insulate and plasterboard those. And as you can see from this side, we've insulated everywhere. So every one of these walls you look at, every floor and every ceiling will be insulated to make this a really good warm home. And also that insulation helps with people above, with the sound not travelling down as well. So it's really important to insulate everywhere. So obviously we've boarded this ceiling and insulated this ceiling, and our job on Monday, as we come into one of the master bedrooms, will be to insulate this ceiling and plasterboard this ceiling, which again we've removed. In the last video this had lath and plaster in patches but not everywhere, and I thought I might be able to get away with keeping it, but it turned out it was better to remove it for the plasterboarding. So that's all been removed, and again another probably 2,000 nails have been removed by myself, which was arduous, but better for me to do it than pay someone else to do it. We've got 4 lights in this section. There'll be 1, 2, 3 and 4, and this lovely bay window that's going to look really cool once we renew the windows. And then I've got a socket under here, again dressing table, computer desk, multiple options. And then I've had to be have a bit of variation here. So I've got a socket either side of the bed if someone wants to put the bed here, which is where I think it will go. And I'm also going to put a socket here and here, just in case someone wants the bed facing the bay window. But personally, if you look at this view here, I think this is where you'd have the bed, with the nice window on your right, and then wardrobes up the end there, and the plumber will put his radiator under the window here, and then you come down into this ensuite. 2 more lights here just for this space, and my job in the next couple of weeks is to insulate this flooring with 120mm insulation, and then the builder's last job is to screed it all once it's been insulated. The plumber will have to run his pipes in this as well. He just has to make sure he wraps it in a foil that doesn't erode the pipes when the concrete's poured. Coming through to the ensuite, I've got to clip all these cables, but there'll be a switch here and an isolator switch up here, and again 4 lights, 1, 2, 3, 4 in a square, and then a fan that will extract through one of the roof tiles that I have adapted, or has been adapted for me, in the side space here. This waste is moving slightly over, slightly in the wrong place from the drawings. So the toilet will be going here, shower in the corner here, sink, and I've got a light either side of the sink for a mirror here, and then towel rail back on this wall here. So the plumber hasn't touched any of this yet. Everything looks really high, obviously, because we've got this massive gap of 120mm plus the concrete that needs to be filled. So 120mm will probably take up to here, and then the rest will be screed concrete, and that's the same in every part of the house that's been extended. So this is the old garage we're standing in, and then at the back obviously we extended out as well. This is a nice plasterboarded room. There's the insulation we're putting in all the ceilings and cavity walls. 100mm stuff, pretty nasty. You have to wear a mask when you're doing it, and as you can see, we've been plasterboarding and busy. So 4 more downlights, and we've boarded half of this room. This will all need chopping back a bit and dot and dabbing plaster work on here, and the building inspector has asked for this to be insulated plasterboard, because this is part of the old house and this brickwork will be more exposed without having the cavity where this was the old part of the house, but with new bricks. So obviously it's not as firmly good as the other parts of the house, so that's going to be insulated plasterboard there. So again, I've got sockets here in case there's a bed there or a sofa there. So I see this as a snug living room in my opinion, but it also counts as a 5th bedroom. And then over here there'll be socket down there with a Cat 6 cable. I put Cat 6 cables to every room in here, so you can have Sky or satellite TV in every room without having to have an ugly box on display, and they all run back to here. These purple and grey cables are the Cat 6 cables. This is my shotgun cable for the aerial from the satellite, and this will all go under the stairs when the stairs are built, with a socket to power it all. Not much has changed in here. I've obviously rewired it again, bed here, socket either side, and this floor needs to be insulated and screeded as explained earlier, as within the back of the old garage. And I'm going to have a TV socket on the wall there, and one more low down I think here and over here, just in case the bed wants to go that way, but it probably wouldn't, but I might as well, as the plaster work is so easy. Coming through to the back room, this is all our plasterboard. The builders have put in the lintels and some pad stones recently. They had to do it in a bit of a freaky order and do the pad stones after, as they weren't in stock and available, so they've done that. And then this is this nice space that will be the kitchen living room, and it will be our job to insulate and plasterboard this ceiling probably on Tuesday next week. So I'm visualising the table, dining room table, being up here in this nice space. I'm going to have 2 lights above it if need be, otherwise they can be spotlights, but I put them on a separate circuit. And then this space, I've now started to think more about what I'm going to have, and I think I'm going to have 2 tall units here, one with an integrated fridge freezer, one with a microwave oven or double oven there. So that comes out to about here, leaving this open so the windows, nothing either side of the window, gives you a nice feeling of space. Sink under here, and then just wall units equidistant from where that ends over there, starting here and then returning, but not taking it too far. I don't want to box it all in. And then obviously base units running all the way across with a dishwasher in here. And as you can see again, and obviously an island going here with this, what's going to be a lovely view of the garden once I get around to doing it. And that's what these are for. So these would be for 2 pendants that will hang over the island as well. Lastly, the utility room. We've boarded the ceiling, I've cut out my lights, and we're going to have a socket either side of a sink. You have to have sockets 30 centimeters from sinks and hobs and things. So I think I've done it about 40 centimeters away from what will be the edge of the sink. And then you can see up in the ceiling here, well, 1 pipe, but there's lots more pipes above this ceiling where the plumber has begun to bring stuff in for what will be the boiler in here, which will be in a integrated cupboard. And I've sort of partitioned this off as this end of the room will be huge larder cupboards for, you know, your tinned tomatoes, all your food, all your pasta, everything like that. And then this bit is more what I call utility room, with a washing machine and the sink and loads of cupboards, more cupboard space, more wall space. But I really like the fact that it's a larder and a utility room, and under the stairs are going to be plenty of space for, you know, coats and hoovers, as well as the storage cupboard in the middle of the hall as well there. And the garden hasn't been touched. We're just trying to keep the weeds out with that black membrane. It looks so much nicer when the scaffolding goes, and I can show you it properly. Outside again, I've wired in outside lights to go out here. Everything's clipped direct as this is being dot and dabbed everywhere too. Thanks to everyone for watching. Got a really exciting couple of weeks coming. I really like this stage of the build. Yeah, I'm much more comfortable doing this, and I've got a great team of guys that I use time and time again. So the plaster should be starting in a couple of weeks. Next week I'm helping plasterboard all of these ceilings and walls, and we'll pull my cables out, and it gets to a really exciting stage. And then the plumber will be here and there, getting his first fix up to scratch as well for the radiators. I didn't mention the radiators in here, but I'm thinking of having one under this window here for the dining room area, and one tall one over here, and then potentially one in this region somewhere, but I'm not sure. It depends. The plumber's going to tell me what I need, as well as we've got this whole wall to put something maybe low level over here. So yeah, I hope everyone likes what's going on so far. Lots to do, lots of deliveries. We have the fencing coming, the insulation coming, more plasterboard. Insulation costs are just ridiculous at the moment. I've spent about £3,000 just on insulation that's going in the floor and being screeded over, and you never see it again. And obviously up in the roof, we've got lots of insulating to do in between the rafters and below the rafters. So plenty to do. I'll start filming some time lapses so you can see the work in progress, as well as just the before and after. And you'll see me helping a few of the guys do all that. Everyone have a lovely weekend, and thanks for watching and subscribing. My Instagram is 1936 Bungalow Renovation. Please follow that for more frequent updates. Cheers.